You've got 1 minute, 60 seconds, that's it. A single high-stakes moment to make an impression that could literally change your entire career. So how do you actually make every single one of those seconds count? Let's dive in. Okay, picture this. The elevator doors slide shut. You turn, and there they are, the one person you've been trying to meet for months. They smile and ask, "So, what do you do?" This is it, that one chance. Now, that's a moment that fills most of us with, pure anxiety. But by the end of this, you're going to feel prepared. So, what exactly is an elevator pitch? Well, think of it as your professional story, just distilled down to its most potent form. It's a brief, persuasive speech that shouldn't last any longer than an actual elevator ride. And here's the most important part. Its goal is not to close the deal or land the job right there on the spot. The real goal is much, much simpler, to spark just enough interest that the other person says, "Tell me more." Now, this is where most people fall right into a trap. Answering, "So, what do you do?" seems so simple, right? But believe me, it's where most pitches just completely fall apart. Let's break down the most common mistakes so you can sidestep them completely. The number one mistake? Oh, it's talking way, way too much. We get nervous, we want to impress, so we just start dumping information. But the problem is, this completely overwhelms the listener. You can literally see their eyes glaze over, and you've lost them before you've even gotten to your main point. Sound a little familiar? Yeah, that's a stream of consciousness, not a pitch. You can hear the passion for sure, but there's absolutely no structure. And pretty quickly, it just becomes noise. The listener has no idea what they're supposed to be focusing on. Okay, the second major error is hiding behind a wall of confusing jargon. We think using all these industry-specific terms makes us sound smart and important, but you know what it usually does? It just creates a barrier. If your audience doesn't understand your language, they just can't connect with your message. Simple as that. Right. What on earth does that actually mean? This kind of corporate speak is the classic way to say absolutely nothing while using a ton of words. It doesn't make you sound impressive, it makes you sound out of touch, and it just alienates the listener. And finally, the third mistake that just derails so many pitches. There's no clear benefit for the listener and no obvious next step. You've described what you do, but you haven't answered their silent question, which is always, "Why should I care?" You finish your little speech and it leaves them thinking, "Okay, and?" So, how do we fix this? How do we build a pitch that's not just clear, but compelling and actually memorable? Well, the solution is a simple, incredibly powerful three-part formula that just cuts right through all the noise. Here it is: problem, solution, benefit. That's it. That's the magic structure. You start by identifying a pain point that the listener can actually relate to. Then, you introduce yourself or your idea as the solution to that problem. And finally, you hammer home the positive outcome, the benefit for them. It's the blueprint for a great pitch. And just look at the transformation here. The before is just a fact, "I'm a graphic designer." I mean, it's fine, but it's flat, right? But the after uses our formula. It starts with a problem they probably recognize, offers a credible solution, and then boom, it ends with a clear benefit. See how it shifts the focus from what you do to the value you create? Okay, so you've crafted the perfect message using the formula. That's huge. But listen, what you say is only half the battle. How you say it is what really makes it land. This is where confidence in your delivery pays off big time. First things first, remember the purpose. An elevator pitch is not a full pitch deck. The whole goal of your 60 seconds is just to spark interest. It's the verbal hook that earns you the right to maybe present the full visual pitch deck later on. That's where you build conviction. Don't try to cram a 10-minute presentation into 60 seconds. And what about your pacing? How fast should you talk? Well, some interesting research suggests the ideal rate for clear, confident speech is right around 110 words per minute. When we get nervous, what do? We speed up. You have to consciously make yourself slow down. It projects confidence and makes your message so much easier to absorb. And remember, your body language is speaking volumes before you even say a word. So plant your feet firmly on the ground to avoid any nervous swaying. Make eye contact. The 60-40 rule is great for this. You look at them for about 60% of the time with brief, natural glances away. Try to cut out those filler words like and like. A moment of silence is way more powerful. And most of all, let your genuine passion for what you do shine through. This brings us to the final, and I think the most important part of this whole process. You've crafted your pitch, you've practiced the delivery, but why? What is all this work actually for? Let's just ask the question directly. After all that preparation, what is the single most important outcome you are trying to achieve in that 1 minute? This. This is it. The crucial point is that you're not trying to get everything you want in that first minute. You are simply and powerfully trying to earn the next conversation, a coffee meeting, a phone call, a demo. Your pitch is the key that opens the next door. It's not supposed to unlock the entire building. So you absolutely have to close the loop with a clear call to action. Don't just let the conversation hang there. Offer them your card, ask to connect on LinkedIn, or suggest a brief coffee meeting. Make it easy and totally natural for them to say yes and continue the conversation. So, the elevator doors are opening, you have the formula, you know how to deliver it with confidence, and you understand that the real goal is just to start a conversation. You are no longer just hoping for a lucky break, you are prepared for the opportunity. The only question left is, are you ready for the ride?